please get in the comments, because this segment here is going to pull a lot of heartstrings. It's going to get a lot of people in their feelings. And you might ask if you ever want to watch petty sports games. No, I'm just kidding. But we're going to get real up here, okay? So there are 3 Atlanta sports teams right now that are chasing championships. You got the Atlanta Braves in the World Series, down 4-1 right now. Might be a 1-1 tie. I think the Braves can still pull it out. We have the Georgia Bulldogs, number 1 team in the nation, doing what they do best, hopefully. Defense is great. Offense isn't what it was, but they're starting to put up points now as we go through. And then we've also got the Atlanta Hawks, who there was no fluke they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We watched them play well against Philly. We watched Trae Young roll his ankle in the Bucks series. The Atlanta Hawks could have won the finals last year. The Atlanta Hawks, the way that they were able to push through that NBA season with all the injuries, I mean, no Cam Reddish, no DeAndre Hunter, losing people. You know, Trae Young doesn't play, and Lou Williams is like, I got it. 25, 30 points, no problem. I can do that. This is what I used to do. 6 men like Lou will. Absolutely. You know that the Atlanta Hawks can run. You know that the Bulldogs can make a run. You know that the Atlanta Braves can make a run. But the ultimate question is, who breaks this curse? And please don't get mad at me for the graphic here, but we had to put it into perspective, guys. It's been a Super Bowl. It's been a national championship. It's now a World Series. It should have been a World Series appearance last year. The middle 2 scores don't really matter. 20-0, you didn't know how to pick up an onside kick, and Nick Foles torched you when it was 26-10. Go figure. Regular season game, right? There's been more Bulldog upsets and more Braves upsets and other notable Falcons upsets. I mean, we can talk about the 2012, 2013 NFC Championship when they should have called pass interference against the Niners, but that's neither here nor there. We'll start with the Atlanta Braves, though. More Braves talk. Yeah, if you don't like baseball, sorry. Braves are in the World Series. You're in the city. Get over it, buddy. Can the Braves break the curse? Could the Atlanta Braves, without their best player, without their best pitcher, without home field advantage, which should have been sellers at the deadline, I mean, you name it, with their pitcher breaking their leg in Game 1 of the World Series, can the Atlanta Braves break the curse? I'm going to say absolutely yes, the Atlanta Braves can break the curse. And great question by Bell earlier. When you talk about the Atlanta Braves potentially right now being America's team, everybody out there is rooting for the Atlanta Braves. Nobody wants to see the cheating Astros win. And it is what it ain't. Banging on trash cans. Manfred's trash. He should have reprimanded them. They didn't strip the title. Whatever. Okay? They played 162 games. They're the best team in the American League. And they're playing the Atlanta Braves. And the Atlanta Braves right now, if they're going to make it happen, it's got to be this season. Because you're telling me that the Atlanta Braves, again, without your best player, without your best pitcher, this is clearly not the best Braves team. Oddly enough, being in the World Series, this is not the best Braves team, I guess, talent-wise, off paper, that we've had. But you want to talk about love, hunger, confidence, chemistry. There is nothing scarier than a team with confidence. There is nothing scarier than an 0-15 NFL team walking into 0-16 now team walking into their final game with all the confidence in the world that they can beat those guys. The Atlanta Braves absolutely will do it this year. They have to do it this year. And the Atlanta Braves are in the position to where they can save the city. They can help the city. We are starved. We are absolutely starved. We saw what the Dogs did. We saw what the Braves did last year. We saw what they did the year before. We've seen what the Falcons have done. Atlanta Braves, it's time to step up. It's time to win the title for the city. And at the end of the day, I think you have the keys to curing the curse, breaking it right here, right now. Again, guys, 678-871-9602. I know I got some piped up Atlanta fans out there probably wondering what the hell I'm saying. Andre, appreciate you. Nice trio, Herter, Collins, and Young. We'll go ahead and get into them next since you were bringing them up here, sir. I like Ebron, but I don't think he's the best. There goes Jamila. You're late, ma'am. All right. Atlanta Hawks. Will the Atlanta Hawks actually be able to break the Atlanta curse? And I'm going to say yes again, because the Atlanta Hawks, it was no fluke when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. It was no fluke that Trae Young balled out in the Eastern Conference Finals. It was no fluke that we defeated the number 1 seed on the road in Game 7 against a clearly better roster. That was not a fluke. And when you talk about the the Atlanta Hawks, not the Atlanta Braves. I'm glancing at the game over here. When you talk about the Atlanta Hawks with, again, great one there, Andre. Of course, Trae Young, John Collins, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish. And I mean, the Hawks just continue to build. The Hawks continue to build around Trae Young, like Dallas should have and continues to wish like they could build around Luka Doncic. But they're not going to. They're gonna bring in a Kristaps Porzingis who has a lot of unnecessary hype, but Atlanta is gonna go pick a smash mouth guy in John Collins, who's gonna go get a hustler in Cam Reddish, who's gonna go get a great big guy, maybe a mid game guy in DeAndre Hunter, and of course we have Trae Young, the absolute star. But when you have this type of roster, when you have this type of energy, this type of chemistry, this type of love for the city, who expected the Hawks to make this run? Shout out Kenneth Spradlin. I know you called it. They were building the Splash Bros from day one with Travis Schlenk when they went and got Trae Young, when they went and got Cam Reddish, when they went and got a little bit of a Kevin Huerter. I mean, that whole draft haul with what those guys were able to do is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to say yes. If the Atlanta Braves want to make a run at this, it's not the Atlanta Braves. If the Atlanta Hawks want to make a run at this, it doesn't necessarily have to be this season. So I will rank them a little bit. Braves will be 1. Sorry, guys. Hawks will be 2. Now let's talk about the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs, number 1 team in the country. We've seen what the Bulldogs have been. The Bulldogs have been flirting with greatness for arguably the past decade and have yet to find it. They have yet to go out there and win the big game. Look, Freddie Freeman got asked about it. That they, for lack of a better word, said, hey, Freddie, what do you think about the Atlanta sports curse? What do you think about what people say? And Freddie said, hey, man, look, they're not wrong. We haven't won the big game. And until, this is not exact words, but for lack of better ones, until we win the big game, we're going to continue to have that narrative. We're going to continue to have that narrative until we get the monkey off of our back, until we can win it all. And with the Bulldogs, they're feeling great because Alabama lost. Oh, they can't believe it. Alabama lost. Oh, my God, the world is falling apart. Don't we see Alabama lose every few years and they still come out on top with Nick Saban? Don't we see Alabama go through a little bit of trials and tribulations and still have a top 2, top 1 Alabama in the field recruiting class? Don't we see that all the time? Yeah, I'm gonna sit up here and say that the Bulldogs have one team to beat this year. It's not Ole Miss. It's not Oklahoma. It's not whatever sleeper you think is going to come into the college football playoff bubble. Can Georgia finally beat Nick Saban? Can a Saban disciple finally crack the code? Because my answer right now is no. I don't think the Dogs can do it right now. When you talk about, when you just get down to the coaching, when you get down to how we've seen both of these teams be able to perform in years past as well. And again, just like with the Hawks, this is not the best Georgia Bulldogs team we've seen. We know they play great defense. We know they can run the football, okay? We know that they're giving up like single-digit points a game. This is Georgia every single year. Every single year. And that's why I said it about a month ago. If the Dogs are going to win the title, it has to be this year. It absolutely has to be. I'll buy in on them winning it, but I'm not going to hold my breath because I like to breathe and probably see my 25th birthday and continue the show. But if we're talking about the Dogs over the Tide, it is a little rough. I will put them at 3rd. But the Braves have a great chance right now. It is 5-1. Oh, Fried. Max Fried, only 59 pitches in, bottom of the 4th. I mean, we still got a lot of game to play, okay? No, major freak out mode here. Okay, we're not going to bug out about that. But Braves 1, Hawks number 2, Georgia Bulldogs number 3, and I'd love to see them all, dude. Hey, I'd of course love to see these Tampa sports teams and how these LA sports teams and all these other people out here are just winning title after title after title. We're getting there. It's just time to finally make it happen. No callers. That's It's okay. I forgive y'all for that one. I thought that was going to be the segment where people were firing off in the comments and, oh my God, did you really just say that? Oh, roll tide. All right, Andre, you're blocked, bro. Sorry, can't do that. Been following Collins since day one. Andre Yelford's in the second here. Been following Collins since day one. The addition of Trae Young just sealed the deal. Shaq and Penny all over again. Bell, do you think that's true? Oh, Bell can't hear me. No worries. So Andre said, been following John Collins since day one. The addition of Trae Young just sealed the deal. Shaq and Penny all over again. Thoughts on that, Bell?
I think it's some partial truth to that. John Collins being a part of this team, I was so happy that they finally got the deal done.
Right.
Because he and Trae were the first two to kind of develop that chemistry to get them over the hump, and start gelling as a team. And, that was the core right there initially. You had Trae and John Collins.
Yep.
And I think when he went out for those 25 games because of the PEDs or performance-enhancing drugs or whatever he did,
right,
that kind of wrecked things for a hot second and, kind of screwed the season around. But they worked their way back into the mix. But, this is a work in progress, and they've seemingly, like with the Braves almost, I'll make that comparison, with Alex Anthopoulos. He's added the right pieces at the right time for these guys to be successful. Same thing with the Hawks.
Yep.
Travis Slink has added the right pieces at the right times over these past couple of years. Even with the contracts, he's doing a great job with the contracts.
Yep.
Not overextending himself, and seemingly so far I think the only two that aren't signed are Hunter and Reddish, maybe.
Yeah.
And I think
Reddish got a deal, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I feel like I remember hearing about that.
Okay, you may be correct. I'm really not that
tapped into the money.
Yeah, so I think it's going to work. These guys are young. This is a really talented core a core group of guys, and they play really well together.
Yeah, they do.
And we're only scratching the surface. Like
exactly.
This season right here will be the telltale sign of what's to come with the Hawks.
Yep. I highly agree. Appreciate that input, Bell. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that's a bold move there. That's a real bold move there to say Shaq and Penny Part 2. But ladies and gentlemen, we're back to the NFL. You can turn your ears back on now. I guess we're done talking about all these Atlanta teams. Don't sleep on them, man. They got a great thing going. We've seen this in sports. LA teams grouping together, Tampa teams grouping together. Let's see if they can do it and shatter this. Oh, you took it away from me, G. It's okay. It's okay, bro. No worries. No worries. See if they can shatter this right here, because this is what irritates a lot of fans. It irritates me too. Look, they've been in big spots. It's time to make it happen. Absolutely time to make it happen.